Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special Bullring presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. I'm Alan Dietz, along with America's racing sweetheart herself, Jess Ballard, and Jess special because we're on a little bit early this Wednesday night on our original airing. Why?
Because we're getting ready to watch the Money in the Bank at Berlin Raceway.
That's right. As soon as we're off at approximately 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, you'll be able to tune in to RacingAmerica.tv to watch the Money in the Bank. Eric Jones, Carson Hocevar, and a cast of others. It's going to be a great race today. But we've got a lot of great guests for you today. Trevor Sanborn is going to be here with us. Ricky Brooks from Berlin as well. We'll talk to Toby, Christie, Brandon Varney, Dawson, Sutton, and Dave Buchanan with the Race of Champions. They've got a very busy weekend here on Racing America, and Dave's going to check in with us and tell us all about it.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
This is like it's a halfway pre-race show.
It is kind of a pre-race show, except
we're talking about a lot of different things.
Yeah, we're going to talk about a whole lot of things. So we're glad that you're here with us today, and just so many just big races that we've got here coming up on Racing America. And
why do I feel like there's more big races this season than in years past?
Because there are.
We're just adding.
Yeah, it seems like, which is good. I mean, these pavement guys need it. We know that. So, speaking of big races, the Celebration of America 300 is coming up from Oxford Plains in July. $40,000 going to the winner. Trevor Sanborn, he got locked in this past weekend, and he'll join us next.
Five Star Bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered. Manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5 Star.
The Stars will be out at Oxford Plains Speedway July 2nd and 3rd, going for $40,000 to win in the All That's Metal Celebration of America 300. NASCAR champions Kyle Busch and Daniel Hemrick, along with short track legend Bubba Pollard, take on North America's best in a 300-lap battle. Plus, New England Super Modifieds going for $10,000 to win and more. It's the Celebration of America 300, July 2nd and 3rd at Oxford Plains Speedway, and you can see it only on Racing America.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
The UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best Super Late Models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UARA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
I'm Rick Hendrick, and you're watching Racing America.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. Alan and Jess here with you this afternoon. And on the pole, the winner of this past weekend Celebration of America 300 qualifier at Oxford Plains Speedway, that is Trevor Sanborn. Trevor, congratulations. How good does it feel to be locked into that big race coming up in July?
It feels really good. I mean, nobody wants to really take provisionals, but it's good that we have a really good car going at Oxford, and we have since day one there. We're leading the Saturday night points, and it was really cool to win the 100-lapper the other night.
How does that change how your team approaches that big race weekend in July?
I mean, we got to tiptoe around Saturday night racing so we don't tear the car up, but we'll approach it like any past race. I mean, it's a tire change race, so it's a little different than a 150, but we, like everyone says, you got to be there at the end and you can't tear the race car up.
And of course, what we're talking about, the Celebration of America, $340,000 to win at Oxford, July 2nd and 3rd. Kyle Busch is entered, Daniel Hemrick is entered, and Trevor Sanborn has locked himself in by virtue of his win this past weekend. I think it was DJ Shaw I asked a couple of weeks ago, do you think this race will play out similarly to a Oxford 250, or I mean, is that kind of how you approach it, or do you have to approach it differently because of the different time of year, the extra 50 laps, whatever it may be?
I think it will be similar. You never know how them races will play out, and I don't know the tire situation at the moment. I haven't looked into it. I'm sure the crew chief knows as far as how many tires and pit stops were allowed. Well, how many tires were allowed, which will clarify the pit stops. But I'm not sure yet. But it'll be very similar to the 250.
So, for the folks that maybe don't follow everything that's going on up there at Oxford, how can you lock yourself into this race? Is it just winning one of these weekly races?
I think they got a couple of qualifiers, right, Trevor? And this past weekend was one, and I do want to bring up, too, just the fact there were 41 cars in this. This is a weekly race, and there were 41 cars in this race.
Well, we talk about that all the time, that Oxford is one of those racetracks where the weekly show is just, almost like a touring series race.
It is. It's like that all the time, and you have really, really stiff competition there on Saturday night racing. And there's also a tire rule. You're only allowed 2 tires every Saturday night, which, dictates how the car handles. You got to change it some to run a 4 tire, like in a past race, or vice versa. The 100 lapper that we ran Saturday, we had 4 tires. We feel a lot more comfortable on 4 tires, and the balance is pretty hard on 2, but we managed to do pretty good with it.
Well, this weekend here on Racing America, it'll be another doubleheader weekend at Oxford with the pass rain out last week. So you'll see the Oxford Championship Series on Saturday, and then the pass divisions on Sunday at Oxford Plains. Try to get out there if you can. Another thing that's different this year is the ride height rule, and I know with it going away, Gabe Brown was telling us it's affected setups. Some teams better, some teams worse. It seems like with your results this year and the way you guys have ran at Oxford, it's kind of played to your favor.
It has. Prior to racing for Rick, a year and a half ago or so, I owned my own car, which was a distance chassis, and it was kind of built around Oxford and the rules, and they're very good there. And now, we run a Fury for Richard Moody, and now that we can, that we don't have a ride height rule, the car just goes way better with it on the ground, and trying to pass tech with a non-lifted foot box like most cars that are there. We just be able to show how well the Fury car is there now.
And your stepdaughter Amara's up in super late models now too.
She is. She is driving Kyle D'Souza's car, and him and his dad are watching over that for her. She's only ran one race. She had leg surgery. Her meniscus was torn, and she's been recouping since. We are going to try to get her in the car this Thursday, Friday, or Saturday to test before the race and see if her left leg can operate the clutch good enough to go racing. If not, we're going to wait one more week and give it a run with her.
Well, I think she's got a bright future. She's done well in testing up there and did well in the support divisions last year. Congratulations to you on getting locked in, and we will see you again this weekend here on Racing America.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, that's Trevor Sanborn. When we come back, as we mentioned earlier, a big race tonight at Berlin Raceway in Michigan, the UARA National Super Late Models. Ricky Brooks is there, and he's going to check in with us next.
The UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best super late models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UARA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Friday, June 14th, it's Wings and Things on the half-mile Spencer Speedway. Come on out to the track. You won't believe your eyes. Winged 350 SMAC Super Modified. The Jake Small Block Super Modified Championship Series. A new event for fans at the Williamson Speed Plant. The Race of Champions Superstocks, 602 Sportsman, and Fast and Furious Wilbur Chew Pullet 4 cylinders join the card, where every lap counts. Brought to you by the Race of Champions, Wilbur Chew Pullet, and Billy Whitaker Ford. Friday night, June 14th, Wings and Things at Spencer Speedway. Racing at 7:15 p.m. You can't miss it.
Hi, I'm Eric Jones, and you're watching Racing America.
Glad you're back with us here on the Bullring, presented by 5-Star Race Car Bodies, and shows a little bit earlier today because we are leading in to the UARA National Money in the Bank at Berlin Raceway. Joining us now from UARA and Cordele Motor Speedway is Ricky Brooks. And Ricky, I know you guys are busy. Great car count there at Berlin. How's everything looking heading into tonight?
It's looking real good. I mean, when it's blue skies here, it's great weather. You couldn't ask for anything better.
See, look, you got like a blue sky thing going on with your outfit, and kind of sunny disposition.
Yeah, we kind of all are coordinating. But I was going to say, Ricky is always going to show, he's always in promoter mode. He's always got his UARA background. And
you love that, don't you?
I do. I love it every time. And I'm going to be a little promoter here, okay? The weather in Michigan at Berlin this time of year is beautiful. Race fans, if you've never gone to one of these big races at Berlin, you've got to go because the racetrack, the facility is so good. It's so accommodating for fans. They got that bar that's like over in turn 3, I think. And anyway,
of course, you got that part figured out.
It's a super fun racetrack. So, Ricky, what are you most looking forward to? I know that you are obviously going to be very busy and probably not going to be able to enjoy the facility, but what are you most looking forward to at this event?
Just a good race. I mean, every time you come here, they put on a good show. You never know who's going to win the race till the end. It's just an awesome facility. We're also announcing today at the drivers' meeting that in August, when we come back, we're going to have a huge party. It's going to be catered and everything for all the drivers, and the drivers and crews are going to be fed for free. And it's just going to be a big party with a band and everything in August when we come back.
Look at Jess.
Oh my gosh.
Road trip.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make sure Travis enters
Oh,
into
yeah.
this race.
Let's work on that.
I told you it's always a good time at Berlin.
That's right. So UARA National, you've had a few sportsman races since we last saw the national cars at the Rattler, but things really getting busy now. You mentioned another race at Berlin in August, the Battle of Berlin, but you got Owasso, Jennerstown. I mean, you're really getting into the meat of the season now.
Yeah, we go to Jennerstown next, then we go to back to Berlin, then we go to Owasso, and then we're down at Freedom Factory for those races, or actually go to Freedom Factory, then Owasso, and then back there for the end of the year. But we're also going to add a race, one more race later on in the year. We'll have more about that probably next week, but we're adding a 300 lap race to the schedule. So that's big news, and we'll put that out next week. We launched our website this week, uararacing.com. So we got a website for both series. So that's one thing that we're growing. So Facebook just isn't big enough to do what we need to be doing in the future.
And I know we've talked, you're busy already looking at next year for UARA and for Cordele, but on Cordele specifically, I think what you guys got in there in March and now you've made the improvements with Victory Lane. I see you got a ice vending machine there now. Mark was telling us, Mark Keeler, about some of the Wi-Fi and audio things. I mean, really making this into a premier facility.
Yeah, we for this before this last event last weekend, all the campsites have Wi-Fi at them now. So as soon as we add the other campsites around behind the grandstands and all, well, we're going to have more camping spots. The Wi-Fi will be for all the camping spots. So we're just trying to make it where when you come there, you don't have to leave.
Looking at next year, you got strong marquee events with the Berlin races, with the Rattler, Motor Mountain Masters at Jennerstown. What do you feel like's the next step here in this evolution for UARA?
The race we're going to add later in this year is going to be a marquee event. It'll be a marquee event for us, and it'll be a marquee event for the Speedway. So we want to have two marquee events at the Speedway, one in the beginning of the year and one towards the end of the year.
And that's Cordele.
Correct. Yes, at Cordele, yes.
Well, I know you guys are busy. I appreciate you taking a few minutes out for us here this afternoon, and we'll be tuning in as soon as we get off air.
All right, I appreciate it. Wish us luck. Looks like we're going to have a good race, so thank you for everything you do.
All right, man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
All right, when we come back, we are going to take a look at Gabe Brown's preparations as he gets ready for the Celebration of America 300 at Oxford.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market. Aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials. Tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
This is Racing America. The biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
Kick off NASCAR week in the Music City June 27th with a special Thursday night of racing. NASCAR stars Ross Chastain and Josh Berry will battle it out with the Pro Late Model locals, the street stocks, and more. Watch it all on RacingAmerica.tv.
Welcome back to the Bullring. You've heard us talk a lot about the Celebration of America 300 coming up in July at Oxford. Gabe Brown is there right now with his team testing in preparation for that big race. Check it out.
You have a great group of guys. Everyone's very relaxed. Guys are having a lot of fun. How important is that?
Yeah, that's the most important thing for us as a group. We come here and fun is our biggest thing that we want to have. And like my dad wouldn't keep doing this if he wasn't having fun, and that's very important to me, is having fun with my dad. This is something we do together. It's not my thing, it's not his thing, it's our thing, and that alone is very important to me, is having that relationship with my father and having the people around me to do it with. Matt, Miles, Dalton, Donnie, Charlene, Riley, Alex, my brother, Cam, everyone that comes and helps. It's special for me to have a good time, because if we weren't having a good time, this wouldn't be as fun for us. I think that 300 laps kind of falls into our game a little bit better. I feel like at the end of a 150 lap race, we're just starting to get into our prime of a race, and I'm looking forward to the long race and the tire conservation and how you got to play the race with all the tires and whatnot, and strategy wise. And we just came over here today to more play with trying to get the front end feel more positive and play with a couple new rear end things to see if it helped, and we seemed to find a couple things that fit me better than what we had been racing here, and hopefully come July it'll be something that will work in the 300 lapper.
Pretty aggressive schedule this year. You're running full-time pass and act.
Yeah, well, it's just you're better the more you race, and being on the racetrack makes you better, and we can fit into our schedule with having the pass stuff and act stuff work together, and we can run both, and we can fit a couple weekly races in at Oxford and White Mountain, and it just makes it fun for all of us. Matt really enjoys working on the act car and maintaining that and doing his thing, so I get to focus on the past stuff more, and he focuses on the act stuff, and makes it good for all of us.
There's a term, or a couple terms in the pits. You got goobed, or you get gaved. How do you feel about that? I'm the bad guy a lot of weeks. I've gained a reputation that some call bad, and sometimes I'm not proud of, but I know people know where they stand with me by the end of the night, and there's no question about it going into the next race, and I feel like that's best case scenario in ways you don't wonder who you're racing around. You know what you're going to be racing around, and I think I make that pretty clear most times.
Five-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
The UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best super late models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UIRA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
The Stars will be out at Oxford Plains Speedway July 2nd and 3rd, going for $40,000 to win in the All That's Metal Celebration of America 300. NASCAR champions Kyle Busch and Daniel Hemrick, along with short track legend Bubba Pollard, take on North America's best in a 300-lap battle. Plus, New England Super Modifieds going for $10,000 to win and more. It's the Celebration of America 300, July 2nd and 3rd at Oxford Plains Speedway, and you can see it only on Racing America.
Yeah, well, I think it all kind of helps. I think the cup stuff helps the dirt stuff helps the cup stuff. I don't really view it as anything other than it's all just helping each other out. So just me being behind the wheel a lot and put myself in racing situations and frustrating situations sometimes, challenging myself to be better allows me to get better. So just getting all that experience I think helps. I think the dirt stuff really helps get my restarts and stuff a lot better in Cup just because the races are so short that you have to be attacking all the time. So, and then I think on the flip side of that, I think the NASCAR stuff helps the patience side of things and staying calm and stuff like that.
I like being on offense, and our strategy was very offense-driven today. So, yeah, that made it fun, because you were the one passing people rather than just trying to fight and hold off and, push your brake zones so you can just hold people off and all that. So I felt like being on offense, I was just able to make less mistakes throughout the day, and I think people recognized that we were on offense too, so they didn't really race me too hard. My car was just really good in the brake zones because I was on fresher tires. So, yeah, that part of it's fun. But, when you can win, no matter how you win, it's pretty fun.
That's what Kyle Larson had to say after his win Sunday at Sonoma Raceway. Joining us now for Toby's Take is Toby Christie from Racing America and TobyChristie.com. And Toby, thanks for joining us. And don't have to talk about Kyle Larson and getting a waiver anymore, do we?
No, we definitely don't. And even if there was any kind of doubt about it, he went ahead and put an exclamation point on it this weekend.
That's right.
Sonoma.
Period. What a way to make a statement.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I can't remember. Did we talk about the waiver with Toby a few weeks ago and your opinion on all of it?
We did.
Yeah, we did. Yep.
We did.
Well, I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
but...
and that doesn't really matter now, right?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't matter now. But again, like we said, I mean, this is kind of the continuation of what's been a really good season for him anyway. A lot of career firsts with the Indy 500 start and all that. So continues on with another win at Sonoma, and he's the point leader even with missing a race. So.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty strong all of a sudden.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I know one of your takes over the past week has been Kyle Busch, and it seems odd to say, but you in your column more or less said it's kind of time for him to stand up for himself.
Yeah, which is something I didn't think I'd ever have to write with Kyle Busch, because he's kind of been the aggressor for the majority of his career. Usually if there's any kind of aggressive action on track, he's the one that's kind of dishing it out, not taking it. So it's been really, really weird to see. But again, this week on the last lap of the race, he's looking like he's possibly running a top 5 finish, maybe a top 10 if things don't work out there in that battle with Chastain. And Ross Chastain wipes him out in turn 4, and that's all she wrote for Kyle Busch's top 10 chances. So it's been really weird. And even when he is the aggressor on track, like he was with Ricky Stenhouse Jr. at the All-Star race, he doesn't get the upper hand in the end because he gets punched in the face. So at some point, I feel like Kyle Busch is going to have to step up and be the guy that lets these guys know that they're not going to be able to do that to him anymore. And I don't know if it's just because of the on-track performance they've had this year that people feel like they can walk all over Kyle Busch right now. But a guy like that's got to put it into it pretty fast.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you feel like we just have a new Kyle Busch now that he's with a different team? And I mean, he even...
It's almost like he's kind of beat down.
Yeah, I was going to say even off track, he seems a little different than he used to be. So what do you think?
I feel like, you know, in everything we've talked to him in the media, he always seems like the same person to me. He always seems a little grouchy in media sessions and stuff like that. So I don't really see any difference there. I just think that he's at a point right now where he knows that they're not contending for wins on a weekly basis. That really frustrates him. I think at this point, he knows if he's not in the battle for the win at this point, that doesn't really matter because they're outside the playoff cut line. Sure, they're getting closer a little bit again, but they keep making mistakes. They're not going to be anywhere near pointing their way in, especially if we get one more person that wins a race that's not currently in the cut line. His chances of pointing in are done. So I think at this point, he knows he needs to win. And if he's not the guy leading the race towards the end of the race when this kind of thing happens, I don't think he really cares that much.
So we've been talking about it since Jess was probably in middle school, but about Iowa Speedway getting a cup race, and they have finally got one now. I thought about this today. Do we think it'll race kind of like Phoenix for the cup cars, or does this new pavement kind of throw an unknown in there?
Well, that's the thing. We really don't know. And they've only repaved like a lane and a half down at the bottom of the track. So you don't really know what's going to happen. I would imagine the bottom lane is going to be the preferred lane, with it being the fresh asphalt. And will we see any kind of multiple groove, anything? I don't know. But it feels like anytime we feel one way or the other that we're certainly going to see this, the other thing is what happens. So we'll see how it goes, especially with this next gen car. It feels like anytime we've tried to predict anything, whether it be a tire compound and what it'll do, or a new track surface and stuff like that, we always kind of get, you know, shown the other thing than what we're expecting. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we'll see a good race. But just from what we've seen in the past with, you know, a lane being repaved and stuff like that, and the shorter track package, I know it did really well at Sonoma this week, but it just hasn't been anything to write home about to this point in the next gen car. So from that aspect, it should not probably be a very good race, but I'm cautiously optimistic we'll see a good one.
Oh, yes. We wanted to ask you about something that you shared on Twitter earlier today. Congratulations, guys. Toby is having a baby. Well, his wife's having a baby.
Yeah, if I'm having it, we've got problems.
Well, congratulations. This is so exciting.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We went to a meeting earlier today and got to hear the heartbeat and stuff. So really, really cool.
Oh my gosh!
And yeah, no, it's big. So baby number 2 for us.
Well, I know whenever people, you know, would when Tammy was pregnant with our boys, they would congratulate me, and I'd always say it was my pleasure.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. So.
Oh, no.
Well, Toby, we know you've been having a good time. That's pretty obvious. And congratulations on the baby coming. And what's the next race we're going to see you at?
I've got a little bit of an off stretch here. I kind of had the summer kind of tabled off with the kiddo getting out of school and stuff like that. So I think my next one that I'll actually be at is not until Daytona. So I've got until August. I've got a bit.
Yeah, well, Toby's going to be busy, and you'll be able to follow it on TobyChristie.com through all his correspondence, and of course here Racing America. Toby, thanks for joining us again, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure to talk to you. My pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. It was mine too. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk to somebody who had the pleasure of winning their first JCRA All-Stars race at Corrigan Oil, Brandon Varney. He'll join us coming up.
RacingAmerica.tv is the place to be if you love short track racing this week. The UARA National Super Late Models are at Berlin for Money in the Bank Wednesday night, June 12th, followed up on Saturday, June 15th, by APC United Late Models in Canada. And open wheel fans will have their turn with Super Modifieds at Spencer Friday night, June 14th, and ROC Sportsman at Wyoming County Sunday, June 16th. It's all a part of an action-packed week on RacingAmerica.tv.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
Friday night, June 28th on Racing America, NASCAR Cup Series champion Kevin Harvick returns to his short track roots. See Harvick battle it out with the Southern Super Series stars at Five Flags Speedway. Watch it all on RacingAmerica.tv.
Welcome back to the Bullring, presented by Five Star Race Car Bodies. And our lucky dog this week, winner of the JIG-CRA All-Stars at Corrigan Oil Speedway, that is Brandon Varney. And Brandon, first off, congratulations. I was shocked that this was your first JIG-CRA All-Stars win, so congratulations.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me on, first of all. But yeah, I couldn't believe this took us this long to get here. It was a really good win for us. We had a really, really tumultuous start to the season, but come out after 3 DNFs and just nothing but bad luck and kind of knocked their socks off. It was a good deal.
Just wait, before you, has he got kind of a young Travis Braden thing going on there? Were you going to say that?
I was thinking that, yeah.
Look,
so
that's good for you as far as Jess goes.
And he also used a big word like Travis does, tumultuous, yeah. But, okay, well, you know what I'm going to say is we love when drivers call in from the shop, but even more so when they got the race car in the background and you got the trophy. Because listen, I don't think people love to just look at our faces for the whole show. They want to see race cars. So very cool. For the folks that don't know, where is your shop located?
So we are located in Richmond, Michigan. It is on the eastern side of Michigan, about 45 minutes north of Detroit.
So I was in town this weekend, and I got to watch a lot of our coverage here on Racing America, and I watched most of the race at Corrigan Oil, and that's a track that you've got a lot of experience at, and boy, that was that I don't know if you've had a chance to go back and watch it, but that was quite a rough race. There was a lot of bumper tag out there, it looked like.
Oh, definitely. That's the first thing I did. Well, probably not the first thing I did. I got home and I went right to bed. But the next night, I think it was last night, I pulled up Racing America and watched the race back, kind of as a little study for myself, but wanted to see what the other drivers were getting into as well, because
they were getting into a lot.
What's that?
They were getting into a lot.
Oh, that's true. That's for sure. I mean, I wanted to see what the other drivers were getting into, and it was everybody else. That's what they were getting into. But it was a great race to watch. And, not even just because I won the event, it was a good race, I think, for the race fan to enjoy. There was a lot of action going on at all times, and not all bad. There was a little bit of beating and banging, but ultimately guys were racing pretty good.
I say this all the time, that pro late model racing right now is some of the best racing going on, especially on the asphalt side. What races are you and your team most looking forward to for the rest of the 2024 season? Are you going to be finishing the entire rest of the All-Stars Tour?
So we're going to run the rest of the All-Stars Tour, and we've got a couple of other races lined up. This car behind us here is actually our super, and we're planning on possibly running the Redbud 400 in that. My brother's going to take over the seat, Evan will, and he's going to drive in the Glass City 200 at Toledo. And then we're also going to run the Winchester 400 at the end of the year. So we've got a couple races lined up on the schedule. We'll see what the super deal is going to line up to be. But rest of the pro late stuff, that's what we got on the schedule for us.
Is it kind of just getting your feet wet deal with the super? I mean, is that the ultimate, goal for you and your brother is to get out there and mix it up with these super guys?
Yeah, I think we can be competitive with them, no doubt. But I think it is truly just kind of getting your feet wet, kind of diving into it a little bit. Definitely for myself and him, we both need to learn the super. The pros are the pros, and we've been racing those for what seems like forever now. But I think the next step, possibly moving forward in next season, I mean, it's not a definitive plan yet, but I think we're going to move up into a super. At least for me, keep Evan in the pros for at least another year, and just kind of see where life takes us from there.
Well, I think you guys have got a good plan. I really was glad to see you get that win on Sunday at Corrigan Oil, and we look forward to following you throughout the rest of the season. Again, congratulations, and I appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be.
All right, that's Brandon Varney. When we come back, another Pro Late Model winner, Dawson Sutton. He got his first at Nashville, and he'll be with us when we come back.
It is time for the Race of Champions to return to the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, and the great tradition of Sunday afternoon racing. The Race of Champions Sportsman, Race of Champions Superstock Series, and 4-score 4-cylinder Dash Series set to do battle on the 3rd Mile Bullring. Brought to you by the Race of Champions and the Bullring. Sunday, June 16th, the Bullring, Wyoming County International Speedway, racing at 2 p.m. You can't miss it.
Communication is key in the racing world. When it comes to at-the-track communications, there is only one place to call. Racing Electronics is the #1 source for professional race communications worldwide. Over 20 years in the business proves their dedication to the sport. With every driver and crew communication, two-way radios and headsets, scanners and more, Racing Electronics is a one-stop communication source for all your motorsports needs. Before the green flag flies, make sure you have all your team communication gear from Racing Electronics. Stop by and see a Racing Electronics representative at the track near you. Visit their showroom in Concord, North Carolina, or order online at racingelectronics.com.
This is Racing America, the biggest stars.
I enjoyed it. I felt good out there. I would love to come here and race.
And the inside info.
This is the T-bar setup. This clips into the bottom of the cam lock.
The only fast channel powered by the NASCAR Cup team owners who know all about speed.
How am I even going to drive for 3.5 hours without having a radio in the car?
The most NASCAR team content anywhere. Climb on board.
New England's biggest short track stars will be at Star Speedway Saturday, June 22nd. Past super late models go for 150 laps in a special national championship event, while the American Canadian Tour battles it out in the Coastal Class 150. That's not enough. The New England Super Modifieds and Past Modifieds will also be in action. It's a full day of racing Saturday, June 22nd at Star Speedway, and you can see it all on the home for Pass and ACT, racingamerica.tv.
One of the races that we had here on Racing America this past weekend was the Pro Late Models and Modifieds Mayhem doubleheader at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. The Pro Late Model winner was Dawson Sutton, and Dawson, hometown team right there in Nashville, and finally able to get that win. How's it feel?
Man, it feels great. We've been trying for a while now to get one there, and to get one at our home track really it kind of just is a relief, We raced the whole season last year there, and raced I think 4 races this year already there. So to get our first one there really means a lot.
Yeah, to finally get one of those guitars, and I don't care what anyone says, when it's your home track, it becomes personal once you've never been able to get to victory lane. I know this has got to mean so much for you and your team, and you guys have been having a lot of consistency these last few races, so that was really exciting to see you guys get it done. I don't think we've talked to you since you've made your truck start, have we?
I don't think so.
Yeah. How was that?
Man, it was crazy, for sure. I didn't realize I was even gonna get in a truck this year. But to get the opportunity, and we're racing a couple more this year. Actually, our next one's in 2 weeks at Nashville Super Speedway. So I'm really looking forward to getting to some of the bigger tracks in the truck, and it's just a learning experience. North Wilkesboro is really cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get to qualify and had to start 36 out of 36 trucks, and really didn't have much luck in the race. But overall, it was a really good learning experience. I mean, we had speed. Just didn't really get to show it in the race.
What's that weekend in Nashville going to look like for you? I know the pro late models race on Thursday night. Josh Berry and Ross Chastain planning on running that race. And then, as you said, all the NASCAR stuff going on at the Super Speedway. Are you planning on running at the fairgrounds on that Thursday night?
Yes, sir. We're running Nashville on the Thursday night, and then the truck on Friday night, the day after. So it's going to be a long weekend for sure. I'm really looking forward to it, though. It's going to be a really, really fun weekend. I've never done that before, so.
Yeah, and again, it's in your backyard. It's your home track. I've always wondered, first of all, we talk about this all the time, that Nashville is one of those tracks that the weekly racing is just as competitive as like a touring series. Mm-hmm. It's really great racing. So not only do you have great racing in your backyard, you don't have to travel very far for that. But what's it like living in Nashville?
He's a little young to really enjoy it.
Yeah, are you 21?
No, I'm 18, so.
Oh my gosh.
He's not old enough.
Okay,
yes.
I'll ask you that question
in 3 years.
In 3 years. Just scratch that. I'll ask you a
well, it
different
could still be fun.
Yeah,
he didn't have to drink.
Every time I go to Nashville for a race, it's like my favorite race weekend on the schedule because it's so much fun. Is every weekend so much fun for you?
Oh yeah, I mean every weekend is fun that I get to race. That's what I do. So unfortunately, I don't get to do the really fun stuff since I'm not 21. But there's still some stuff to do.
Oh yeah, don't worry. You'll have plenty of time for all of that stuff. Jess is just trying to move you along a little bit too quick. So with the short track stuff, any more super races, or how does the rest of the season kind of lay out for you?
Oh yeah, we're running actually this weekend. We're running Milwaukee and Madison in the super. So we're running every weekend we can basically in either a pro car, a super, or a truck. And fortunately, we've had a ton of luck in the super late model, running really consistent. Seems like every race now we're up front and having competitive cars for sure.
Well, those are the things that you got to do if you really want to make it in this business, is race as much and as many different things as you possibly can. And I know you're doing that. Great job this past weekend there at Nashville, and good luck, especially coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Dawson Sutton coming off that big win at Nashville. When we come back, we'll tell you about what's going on this weekend here on Racing America and catch up with Dave Buchanan, because the Race of Champions are going to be very busy.
The Show Me the Money Pro Late Models return to Montgomery Motor Speedway Saturday night, June 22nd. See the best super late models in the country compete in the Summer Sizzler 100. Plus, you'll also see action for the late model sportsmen, street stocks, and crown stocks. It's the Summer Sizzler 100 Saturday night, June 22nd at Montgomery Motor Speedway. For more information, go to montgomerymotorspeedway.org. It's all only on racingamerica.tv, your new home for racing.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best super late models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UIRA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
Hi, I'm Greg Anderson, and you're watching Racing America.
Well, as we always say, it's another busy weekend here on Racing America, and around the corner, Jess, we've got a race coming up almost immediately.
Yeah, well, hold on. I got to look at my notes because there's a lot going on. So Wednesday, today at Berlin, we got the UARA National Money at the Bank at Berlin Raceway. We've talked about that a lot.
And in the bank.
What did I say?
At the bank.
At the bank, taking the check to the bank.
Whatever.
Okay.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyways, Friday, 350 Smack at Spencer and ROC Dirt Sportsman Mods at Oshweekend.
That's right, up in
nice.
Canada. And then on Saturday, the APC United late models, they'll continue on at Peterborough Speedway. ROC Modifieds will be at Chemung. CRA Late Model Sportsman at Anderson. Oxford Championship Series at Oxford Plains on Saturday. Then on Sunday, past Super Late Models back at Oxford Plains. ROC Sportsman will be at Wyoming County. And, of course, we wind it up as we do every Sunday at Slinger Speedway. And joining us now from the ROC Modified Series is Dave Buchanan. And, Dave, you guys have got a busy, busy weekend.
Well, Alan, yeah, we've got a jam-packed weekend with the Race of Champions family of series. The fun starts Friday. We actually have 2 shows on Friday. Both, of course, will be on Racing America. All our shows are. For the dirt folks, we'll be at the Oshweekend Speedway near Hamilton, Ontario, with our 602 Crate Dirt Sportsman Modified Division, which always puts on a great show. The level of competition in the Niagara region of Ontario and Western New York is phenomenal. So they'll be in action on Friday. And then on the pavement side, where I'll be, will be just east of Rochester, New York on Route 104 at the Spencer Speedway in Williamston, New York. And we got a fantastic show headlined by 2 divisions of super modified racing. We've got the winged 350 super modifieds, the SMAC Smack Super Modifieds, which is a traveling series out of New England. That'll also be supported by some competitors coming over from the Oswego Speedway, which is just east of where we'll be. And then on top of that, we'll have the Race of Champions Super Stocks, the Rocket Performance 602 Sportsman Modifieds, and the Wilbert Super Sixes and 4-cylinder cars, and a jam-packed show there at Spencer Speedway on Friday. Then after that, we'll head southeast from there on Saturday. We're over to the Chemung Speedrome. I'm just outside the Finger Lakes and near Watkins Glen, as the Race of Champions Modified Series will run their 300th race in series history. Of course, the series dates back 30 years to 1994 when it started out as a New York State Modified Series. So this Saturday will be the 300th race in series history for the Race of Champions Modifieds. Should be a great turnout with the Modifieds and also the Race of Champions 4-cylinder dash series, along with the Chemung Speedrome Hobby Stocks will be in action on Saturday. And then Father's Day, we'll head back closer to our home base of Buffalo, New York. Side of there near Letchworth State Park in Perry, New York, is the Wyoming County International Speedway, or as it's affectionately known, the Perry Bullring. It's a tight little 3rd-mile oval there in Perry, and that show will be headlined by the Race of Champions Sportsman Modifieds, which have been putting on excellent racing this season in their first 3 races of the year, plus the Race of Champions Super Stocks, and a full card of racing there on Father's Day Sunday. So we've got a jam-packed weekend with the Race of Champions.
So, Jess, you're like the Bullring, the Wyoming Bullring.
Oh, thank you. Because it's small?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Dave, can you repeat all that? I didn't have my pen and paper ready. I mean, this is crazy. All these races going on, a lot of great racing. It's Father's Day weekend. I think the weather looks pretty good in all these different areas. If you had to pick one, which one are you most looking forward to?
Oh, geez, that's like asking me to pick my favorite kid if I had more than one kid. I think it's got to be, though, Saturday at Chemung with the Modifieds, because that's our premier series, the Race of Champions Modified Series. This race was supposed to be a month ago. It got postponed due to weather. And I'm really excited because it is race number 300. I've been announcing this series as like the regular series announcer since 2016, but honestly, I've been following this series since its inception in 1994 when I was 12 years old. And so I've followed this series since its beginning. And to reach 300 races is quite the milestone. And the level of talent that has run this series over the years, just something I'm very proud to be a small part of. So I'm really excited to get back to Chemung on Saturday and get that 300th race in the books.
That's before you were born, Jess.
That's what I was thinking.
I know,
but
me too.
Really, that is so impressive, especially in this day and age. 300 races.
Yep.
And I love when we have announcers on the show because, and do not let this get to your head, but I think you guys are like the greatest wealth of knowledge. Like you're giving us stats that the average person can't just pull out of their head. So it's always such a treat.
Yep. And Dave, go ahead.
I was going to say, all us announcers are full of useless information.
That's right. That's right. I remember my dad back whenever I was a kid said, man, you got all this useless information about racing. Why can't you apply that to algebra? And I was like, well, I've managed to parlay it into something. Well, Dave, I know you guys are going to be busy. I am so glad that we got ROC back here on Racing America this year, and looking forward to watching it this weekend.
Alan, it's really great to be partnered back up with Racing America once again. You guys do a great job supporting our series. The social media coverage alone, I think, goes a long way to promote our races and our stars in the cars that drive and get to show them off to even more people. So we're really excited to be working with you guys once again, and I hope the folks, if they can't watch all 4 events, at least pick a day and tune in for a little bit and check out the action with the Race of Champions.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again, Dave.
You guys take care.
Yes, sir. You too. We'll wrap it up another Bullring when we come back.
The UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best super late models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UARA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.
5-star bodies, the most advanced bodies on the market, aerodynamically engineered, manufactured from the highest grade and lightest weight materials, tested tough for optimum performance. The highest quality and most durable products you'll find anywhere. Our products help racers around the world reach victory lane. Winning never looked so good. Faster, lighter, stronger, better. 5-star.
Get up on your feet, race fans.
RacingAmerica.tv is the place to be if you love short track racing this week. The UARA National Super Late Models are at Berlin for Money in the Bank Wednesday night, June 12th, followed up on Saturday, June 15th, by APC United Late Models in Canada. And open wheel fans will have their turn with Super Modifieds at Spencer Friday night, June 14th, and ROC Sportsman at Wyoming County Sunday, June 16th. It's all a part of an action-packed week on RacingAmerica.tv.
Once again, we want to thank all of our guests for joining us today here on the Bullring, and we want to thank you for joining us as well. I'm ready to watch a race. How about you?
Let's boogity, boogity, boogity.
That's right. I couldn't have said it any better, or Darrell Waltrip. That's right. Go to RacingAmerica.tv right now as our coverage from Berlin Raceway about to begin for Money in the Bank. So for Jess Ballard, I'm Alan Dietz saying so long. We'll see you watching Money in the Bank, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks here on the Bullring.
The UARA Super Late Models make a special midweek stop at Berlin Raceway for the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group. Come see the best super late models in the country as they hit Michigan for the first of 3 stops in 2024. It's the Money in the Bank presented by Baker Auto Group at Berlin Raceway. For more info, go to UARA National on Facebook or catch it only on RacingAmerica.tv.